Welcome back. Illegal migrant crime out of control in the country. A Haitian national charged with raping a 15-year-old disabled girl at a Massachusetts migrant hotel. He had been released on $500 bail despite ICE requests to transfer him into custody. Corey Alvarez was flown from Haiti into New York's JFK airport last year. He was flown here through a mass parole program, allowing up to 30,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela into America every month, all countries we do not have a repatriation agreement with. He was arrested by ICE in Boston yesterday. Then in Mississippi, an illegal migrant from Mexico accused of raping a 10-year-old boy twice. He's now awaiting a hearing before a justice court judge. In Mississippi, the Governor Tate Reeves writes this on X: every state is now a border state. This is why we must elect Trump, so animals like Filiberto never make it here. Build the wall and enact mass deportation. Kamala Harris allows this and would never address it as president, the governor writes. And more migrant crime to report here in New York. A Senegalese national who illegally crossed the Arizona border last year, charged with raping a woman in the Bronx. He reportedly submitted an asylum application in January and was given a work permit. And then in Coney Island, another illegal migrant arrested for raping a woman at knife point on Monday. This week, one of the migrants accused of beating two NYPD officers in Times Square, meanwhile, arrested again for theft after being released on bail. Horrible stories to report. Joining me now is New York Congressman Nick Langworthy, a member of the House Oversight, Agriculture, Rules Committees as well. Congressman, thanks very much for being here. Your reaction to all that's going on related to migrants in this country illegally.
Well, Maria, the sad reality is that you can have a story like this each and every day. They just go on and on and on, and there's no end in sight because we have 10 million people that have come into this country illegally. They're not the best and brightest that the world has to offer, and the Biden-Harris administration has let this happen. And then you compound that with places like New York, where our ridiculous bail laws have allowed a lot of these people to go free. I mean, that's how we lost Lake and Riley. Well, look, and this is something that is not going to stop until we get serious about this border and mass deportation. And you are a representative of New York. What can you tell us about this Tren de l'Agra, this gang that's in New York right now, who is supposedly so vicious and dangerous from Venezuela? Tren de l'Agua. Well, I represent upstate New York, and it hasn't necessarily been the issue in my district, but everything I've read is this is a really serious growing situation. And as these migrants come together, there's nothing but idle time, and you're going to see rises in gangs like this as they come back together in the United States. I mean, this combined with New York's ridiculous criminal justice policies that let criminals run free in the streets and have no consequences, you're going to have these gangs emerge and grow stronger by the day. Our law enforcement officers need the tools to get the job done and to break these things up. Well, I mean, these are all national security issues. We also want to get to the economic issues. We don't have any idea in terms of what Kamala Harris is proposing, how she would govern in the next 4 years should she win the White House. So we're looking at what she has said in the past, but the Kamala Harris campaign telling Fox that there will be no push for a Medicare for all plan. This is not coming directly from the vice president. Kamala Harris has not said this, but her aides are saying this. In the past, she has strongly supported Medicare for all, even co-sponsoring Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All Act. Watch this.
I support Medicare for all, I always have, but I wanted to make the plan better, which I did. So under my Medicare for all plan, people have the choice of a private plan or a public plan because that's what people want. Access to affordable health care should not be a privilege, it should be a right.
You support the Medicare for All bill, I think initially co-sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders. You're also a co-sponsor on it.
And the idea is that everyone gets access to medical care. And you don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company. Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? All right.
Congressman, your thoughts on Medicare for All, which, by the way, is estimated in terms of federal spending in the $44 trillion ranges between 2026 and 2035, if you are actually insuring everyone?
Kamala Harris can run, but she can't hide from her record. And when she stood on the stage and raised her hand that she would abolish private health care, I think that tells the story. And now she's had a total shift because she knows her own past in the 2020 race for president, where there's lots of video footage to watch her radical positions as she tried to get to the left of Bernie Sanders is coming back to bite her. The American people reject radical health insurance takeovers like this. They want private health insurance options. They want choice. They don't want a government-run health care program. And this is exactly what you see. She's trying to remanufacture who she is today. We have to judge her by her work, which is none in this administration. Her terrible record is Joe Biden's terrible record. And now she's trying to erase the history that was the positions that she had.
Meanwhile,
this woman's a day one sponsor of Medicare for All.
Meanwhile, talk about a shift. Suddenly we're getting truth from the Department of Justice about Hunter Biden. Now we understand that Hunter Biden once asked the U.S. Embassy in Rome for their help in landing a lucrative business deal for the Ukrainian energy company Burisma that he worked for. The request came in 2016 while his father, Joe, was vice president. The State Department released the new record shortly after Biden dropped out of the 2024 race. Of course, the New York Times is reporting that the timing of this information is a total coincidence. The State Department did not release Hunter's letter to the embassy, but did release the embassy's official response. They said they wanted to be careful about promising too much, also writing that purely to protect ourselves, the U.S. government should not be actively advocating with the government of Italy without Burisma going through a Department of Commerce program first. Hunter's attorney is saying that the letter to the State Department was proper. All of this as Hunter's lawyers are pushing for allegations of any foreign wrongdoing to be kept out of the California tax trial. Last week, special counsel David Weiss accused the first son of working for a Romanian oligarch who was attempting to influence U.S. policy while his father was Joe Biden. Joe Biden was vice president. That was from 2015 to 2017. Hunter accepted $1 million from that oligarch, Gabriel Papaviciu. He was facing corruption charges in his home country. Congressman, we've heard all of this from the chairman of your committee, James Comer, who told us about the Romanian oligarch, who told us about the money that the Biden family has accepted from China, Russia, elsewhere. What can you tell us about all of this? Now we understand that he also tried to lobby Italy to help him make money on whatever he was doing at Burisma.
Well, as Chairman Comer has very artfully done, I mean, this is a continuing culture of corruption. And it's just so coincidental that, right after his own party threw him under the bus and Biden's out of the way, now the documents and the information starts to come forward. I mean, this is exactly what you expect. I mean, this is really one of the biggest scandals in American history in terms of political corruption. I mean, this will go down. But the fact that they have now, run the bus over the president and he's no longer, their liability anymore, the facts are starting to emerge from these departments. Yeah. And they stood away, they stonewalled the entire time during this investigation. And now when there's no, damage left to do to this administration and Joe Biden's electoral success, the information is going to come forward.
So where does your investigation stand? Where does your investigation stand?
It's continuing. I think we have criminal referrals on the way. We're running out of runway in terms of an ability to do an impeachment, but there are, referrals pending.
Okay. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much. So we'll keep following your work.